is always smooth.
Well, welcome back. Manfeild Circuit, Chris Amon, round 5 and the grand final of the D1NZ National Drifting Championship. Of course, brought to us by Mimico. Hi, I'm Steve Daniel, one of the commentary team. Joining me in commentary for the top 24 battles, Bruce Tannock. Great to have you here.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, it looks like the boys are almost ready to go on the grid here. Jesse versus Gargan.
So Jesse Greenslade in the Pariah NZ Girls RB30 powered S15. It's an insane car, great chassis. He's going up against Gargan Kang in the Blackpool Liquor Machine.
A couple of lovely RBs for you.
Yeah, I'm a great fan of RBs. Darren's going to do a burnout on mine later on, my hat, my RB hat.
Nice.
It's a naughty hat. All right, are you ready? I'm ready.
Absolutely. So let's get unleashing, I think, 600 and 500 kilowatts here.
Well, here we go. It's the first battle of the top 24 here, Manfeild D1NZ Pro-Championship, brought to us by the Galore Parts Group, and it will be Jesse Greenslade that leads them out. Gargan Kang will be right there on chase. We've got the cone line set up to ensure that...
Try and keep the cars together, so there's the together cone coming up. Jesse's on hard throttle, and both cars entered. Jesse's got a bit of a gap there at the beginning. Gargan's closing up a little. Switch.
So Gargan really had to try.
He's washed. Oh, he's actually... Has he dropped? Not quite off the track there, but he's washed out quite badly. And Jesse has held the qualifying line pretty well there. And coming around for the last clip and out of the section. And again, Gargan's washed out wide there at the back, sadly.
So a huge advantage for Jesse Greenslade, therefore, after that.
I mean, they both entered pretty much where they meant to be, and up until now, Gargan's looking all right. And then his switch there is a little bit late, I think, and he's washed out past the clip. And then I think that's pretty much all she wrote there, because Jesse's just driven away.
So that was it's an RB30.
RB30 versus RB30, yep. So I think just the difference there is a little bit more boost in Jesse, and he's running the NOS. So.
And he's not afraid to use it.
No, not at all. He's got a couple of bottles with him, so there's plenty there. He won't spare anything.
Have you've run NOS before, Bruce?
We ran it a couple of years ago before we went to the bigger capacity. So here we go. Gargan on Jesse's giving him a little bit of room, maybe a car length or so. Both entering into the section, both on line. Bit of smoke. Jesse's closing up. Ooh, little hiccup on the switch there, but nothing too bad. He has washed a little bit
Jesse's
wide.
turn this time to wash out wide. He's going to really need to hold on to that.
Yep. So he needs to get this last clip nicely. He's coming in. Oh, Gargan's run off there.
And that is going to
I'd say that's all she wrote, sadly.
So that's going to be that'll go a 10-0 disadvantage for Gargan Kang in the second half of that battle there, because he's straight line. Now, it wasn't Jesse's job to actually stay straight. We're looking at Jesse essentially did exactly what Gargan did in the first run.
Exactly. So Gargan followed through here and came back with a beautiful line on the second run, filled the zone, and Jesse was playing a little bit of catch up here, although he did hold his line, and he's. Yeah, Gargan's just dipped a wheel off on the inside there, which has probably caught his steering out.
So, of course, because Gargan ran straight, Jesse had to essentially brake and stop his car to avoid contact. So it's not his job. If somebody wipes out from behind, it is the job of the driver in front.
Yeah, so the chase driver holds his drift as long as he can, whereas then obviously you saw Gargan unfortunately lose his drift and turn opposite lock. So now we've got Danon Templeman coming up in the BMW and Geordie Cole in his FC RX-7.
Well, there we go. We've got 3 slides left in the favour of Jesse Greenslade. So Jesse Greenslade will be the first to book his spot in... Oh, no, he's just going to go into the top 16, isn't he? So he's going to be taking on none other than Cole Armstrong.
So that's, I think going qualifying 16th, he now takes on number 1. So the boys are now lined up, waiting for the smoke to clear. I'd say there'd be a little bit of a power advantage on the hand of the Danon's BMW there, the ZIC New Zealand Motor Oils.
That FCRX7 though is not slow. What is that? Is it turboed as well?
I think twin turbo.
Twin turboed 1UZFE Toyota V8.
Absolutely.
Going up against the 2JZ E46 BMW of Danon Templeman. He ran the FD for some years, but he said, just struggled with that sort of front-end steering on the FD. Couldn't really get it to stick, and decided that, because a lot of the Europeans obviously drifting the BMWs, that he could go and get the package he needed to drift at the top end in the BMW, and certainly hasn't looked back.
So they've both entered closely together there. Geordie's certainly not giving him any room. Switched nicely. Looks like, looks like they both missed the clip there, but Geordie is following Danon's line.
Geordie lost in the smoke. He completely lost. So here he is. He was just stuck in the smoke.
And Danem's come up nicely on the 2 last clipping points there, so I'd just say probably be a little bit dark on himself for missing that second clip. So here they go.
Well, let's have a look at the second half of this battle here. D1NZ Top 24, brought to us by Galore Parts Group. So, oh, look at Danem
nice
just
and close,
keeping him up there.
Just letting him know he's there. Oh, there was a touch there maybe.
So that's what.
Go.
Yeah, so interesting start. I wonder if that's going to go up into the referee's box afterwards, but here we go. We are drifting here at Manfeild. Danem, massive angle. Geordie's getting away from him to start.
So yeah, Geordie has, well, Danem's, the judges did allow you to take a little compromise, a little bit of line there to catch up. They did allow. From our point of view, just on that camera, hard to say if he gave up too much. But, so I think Geordie probably had a better lead there. I'd say he maybe hit the second clip a little bit better. And he had a slight, maybe a half a car length more on the.
I think we're going to see here. This is the point here.
So Geordie switched right on the blue marker, bang on the clip. He's washed maybe a little bit past mid-track where he wanted to be, but that's left Danem down below him.
So Danem shallowed up a little bit to try and gain back that proximity.
Yeah, so, and he's done that, hit the clip beautifully. So if we take into account that Geordie probably had a slight advantage on Danem's mistake in his lead run.
Form a result. Here we go. Straight to slide left, Danem Templeman. Slide right to Geordie Cole. Who will it be? 1, 2, 3 strikes to Geordie Cole. Geordie Cole will go through into the next round, and he will be battling Darren Kelly.
It's a bit of a turn-up because obviously Danem's had some really strong results all year. He's been on the podium, I think, well, if not on the podium, I think top 4 3 times.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so
second place and the 3rd place and a 4th place, I think. So he won't be happy with that, and obviously probably came down to his mistake on his lead.
All right, well, here's the next battle, and it will be Little Stewie Baker in the Link ECU 1.5 JZ powered S13 and the Parts Trader NZ Hartley Engines and Motorsport V12 power plant of Jaron Olive Kroner. He's your local lad, but yeah, get him behind him fielding.
And Stewie's going to hear that thing singing behind him, so he's got his window open, so he's certainly going to know if Jaron's right there. And he's certainly, and Stewie's little car's pretty quick for a little 1J, like it's certainly no slug.
Certainly doesn't struggle, little Stewie Baker. Let's see how they go.
So into the sweeper, Stewie, he's just lost a little bit of his angle. He's switched nicely, back on the gas. Jaron's right there with him.
Now, there's no driver in the D1NZ field that does this particular track as much as Jaron Olive Kroner does, so he needs to be good here. We saw him got his best result ever with a 4th place last year here. He wants to make his way up. Nice, I think a clean chase run from Jaron.
I think Jaron will be happy with that. Maybe not, he wasn't probably as close as he would like to have been, but he hasn't made any mistakes in the chase, it doesn't look like. He's switched nicely there, followed the clip, kept up with Stewie, and he's flicked it back, and he has kept out to the, he's maybe a little bit down off the clip there, and then he's tucked up nicely behind Stewie here. Stewie's hit the clip out to the outside, and Jaron's followed him out.
I didn't hear a lot of discussion about whether or not you can sort of jump the lights like we've seen in Pukekohe, but we're about to find out. Stewie Baker will be taking that inside line coming into this big right-hander with Jaron Olive Kroner in lead. We know how fast that car is.
So he's doing, yeah, so he's in line. Get on it, Stewie. There's Jaron's got his foot down. And I think he might have just got a little bit, so he's got 4 or 5 car lengths there. Jaron switched right on the clipping point.
Oh, here comes
Stewie's popped out of the smoke there and taken a rather shallower line to close the proximity. Jaron's
keep on the track.
Unsettled his car a little bit there through the ripple strip. So yeah, if we see it from another angle, we'll see how much Stewie compromised his line to kind of dive through the midsection there.
Absolutely.
They've both switched. Jaron's back on the gas a little bit earlier than Stew. And there we go. Yeah, oh no, Stew's run a wheel, 2 wheels off I think there on the inside. So didn't actually bring up any dirt because the Manfeild infield's very nice and plush with the nice grass. But I think if the judges need to double check that, he might have dropped actually 2 wheels off on the inside.
What's the go? Who will it be? Stewie Baker slide left, Jaron Olive Kroner slide right, Brendan Duncan says Jaron, Dan Mackey says Jaron, and 3 strikes to Jaron Olive Kroner. He will move through to take on Troy Jenkins. So There you go, Fielding, Palmerston North. That's your local guy. He's made his way through into the top 16 to go up against Troy Jenkins.
Now we've got Liam Burke against Matty Hill. Now, Matty had what he would consider himself rather an average qualifying, so he's down on 18th. On his last run, he just had what he described as a brain fart and just mussed up and basically spun out at the hairpin. So, but Liam's been driving consistently all weekend. He was in 15th position. So,
Liam, he's done a really good job this year since moving up from Pro Sport last year into the pros. Certainly doesn't look like he's struggling with horsepower either up in the 2JZ power plant in the S13.
Indeed, two 2Js up against each other. I'd say both similar kind of welly. Obviously, probably Matty's got a little bit of experience on his side because he does spend a lot of time in a drift car.
So Matty Hill running about 600 horsepower. Liam Burke, he's up at 800 horsepower, but let's see how they go. It's S13 versus S15. 2Js under the bonnet.
They're both tipping it in. Matty's nice and close there. Both holding it, both real good line, real good switch together. Matty's just washed a little bit offline, but he's coming back now. He fills the outer zone again, and then coming up to the final hairpin. Looks like Liam has slowed down quite a bit through there, and Matty's actually closed the gap quite well.
Off that last camera angle, quite interested to see the Matty Hill's car as he comes through that centre section.
It looks like he has sacrificed a little bit of angle to close that gap, but again, the judges did say they would allow that.
So he backed it and washed out a little bit. I'm just interested in this point there.
He's still mid-track, and he's still got his angle, plenty of angle dialed on there. And then just at this stage, it looks like Liam had just a little bit of a messy grab on the handbrake, and then back on the throttle out of the section.
So I'm thinking advantage Liam Burke.
Yeah, I think, like you said, that gap that he pulled in the midsection, Matt did catch up, but I think you'd probably give maybe a half or 1 point advantage to Liam there, even though Liam may have sacrificed a little bit of that advantage back by that slightly, just dragging the handbrake a fraction early into the hairpin.
Well, green lights are go. Let's see what happens in the second half of this battle between Matty Hill and Liam Burke.
Boys coming into the cones now, so Matty's on the outside in the lead. And Liam's gone in, he's gone in side by side, so he's backing himself for speed. Here we go, both throttle down, entering.
Well, it's Performance Automotive S15 who will lead out the measure up flooring S13 of Liam Burke. Burke, again, he tries to close the door, and he's been able to keep the nose down and not actually wash out like Matty did in the first one. Liam Burke is closing up.
Oh, did he touch him there? He got very, very close. If he didn't touch, that was right in there. Oh, we obviously, from the initial view, we couldn't quite see through the smoke, but he's
got his hand out the window. He's happy.
Yes.
So, yeah, a repeat of Pukekohe.
So here we go. We get to see it from this angle. So Liam pops out of the smoke. Oh, left foot brake. Like I said, I think it comes down to those both entries, lead and chase into the hairpin, which whether or not Liam's done enough to win with his proximity.
All right, here we go. One strike, Liam Burke. OMT, says Dan Mackey. What does Brendan Dunker say?
Oh, okay, 2-1.
2-1. Liam Burke will go through into the next round as we welcome to the commentary box Dana Templeman. Dana, I like that little move that you pulled, trying to drag the driver down a bit to the inside line.
I was just trying to get a good exit out of that corner. Bit of an older circuit racing trick
I recall 2 years ago you did the same thing to me.
Let's have a fight in commentary.
Sorry, Bruce. Didn't work.
So here we go, Benny.
So we've got the Toyota's Galore GT86 of Ben Jenkins. He's been fast all season going up against NOB building Jerry Zoo OG Drift.
Jerry's.
So we see the Toyota's Galore machine just moving his way out. Jerry trying to tuck it underneath.
Out Jerry in behind there. So he's filled out the zone like that's pretty much on his qualifying line. Out to the outside clip. Comes down. Oh, he's dragging the brake a little bit there. Jerry has done a good job to stay with Ben because Ben's car is no slouch.
It was a pretty good chase. Very good chase.
Dana, you're sitting in the car, Jerry Zoo. What are you thinking at this point?
Well, the hardest thing is not to lose yourself in the smoke and make sure that you get the transition right. Here is the trickiest part. Here is out of here, get clouded in smoke, and you can see that Jerry was a little bit behind, but still kept on line, even though he allowed Ben to get away a little bit. You can see in the replay Ben is dragging the brake out of the exit of the corner, just to stack that angle on, which allowed Jerry to close up a little bit.
So I'd say Ben's spotter will be currently in his ear saying, Jerry's done a lot better than we expected there, mate. He's stuck to your door very, very well. So I think Ben will be excited by that, and he's looking forward to probably, hopefully, returning the favour.
All right, well, here we are, of course, Dane and Templeman with the, what is it? It was Zic. It's still Zic, but
we're
NZ
Motor Oil, but we're still Zic, yep.
You enjoying your drifting still? I love that E46 BMW.
Yeah, I think we're going to end up with another BMW next year. I was speaking to Jerry actually before, and he's currently building an E92, so he's coming to join a European onslaught, but awesome. I'm pretty sure it'll have a mighty JZ in it. You know, I see you haven't got your famous hat on at the moment.
There's a couple sitting across from us.
I can see that.
Well, here we go. The second half of the battle, of course, is NOB Buildings S15 of Jerry Zhu going up against the Brian Roberts Tone Toyota's Galore GT86 of Ben Jenkins. We saw him hit 203 kilometres an hour at Pukekohe. He likes to drive fast.
Well, he needs to drive fast here because he needs to stick it to Jerry like a cheap suit, because Jerry stuck it to him very well.
Initiating the same point. Jerry just missed that clip a little bit.
He's on the gas early though, and getting good drive out of that corner, back out to the outside. Ben's right there, so Ben sticks it right in on him now. Come on, he's gonna. Oh, I don't know. It's
a hard one. Tricky call. That's a hard one. I'm glad we're not judging, because
if we were, we'd just go one more time.
Jerry switched here, maybe just a fraction past the blue peg, so he's just a little bit off the clip.
Yeah, he was a little bit before,
but
he switched before the clip, unfortunately.
But I think, he's got the car dialed in this weekend, and that's he's kept the line. He's on the handbrake there, but he's got plenty of angle, back on the gas, lots of smoke, and Benny's right there. So
a little bit of a boggle though in the hairpin by Ben just then.
Well, here we go. To the slider we go. Ben Jenkins slide left, Jerry Zhu slide right. Ooh. One goes one way, one goes the other way, and Brendan Duncan says one more time, and this is the best type of one more time, straight down the middle. A great decision to go that way there, I guess. I
think that's a good decision after watching the replays.
Why don't you see, now we've got obviously a tyre change coming up. Do you want to ask the judges?
Dan Mackey, we'll grab the mic, let's have a chat to you. So, look, welcome to the show, Dan Mackey. How are you going up there, mate?
Yeah, guys, thanks for having us back again. Look, that was a real close one. There was, you guys called it, particularly I think it was Dana was saying that there was the gap in the middle there, that was kind of the bit that did it for me in the end. But a fairly even run, to be quite honest. I'm quite happy to see that one again. My scoring system gave it slightly to Ben, but it definitely wasn't a big gap. So to see that run again is certainly, I'm not.
So T-Boone, he went the other way.
T-Boone did go the other way. He's here. Do you want to talk to him? You can't see him.
Does it go the other way?
I thought Ben didn't stay close enough to him.
Sure.
Jerry got quite close, but had a bit of a gap in the middle. But made it up on the hairpin, whereas, Ben stayed very consistent, but, he could have been closer, and that's why it went towards Jerry, but it was very close.
Excellent, so thank you very much. There's one man that can't make a decision, so if you can't make a decision, you go OMT.
Sorry, I can only just hear you there, Steve, but I'm guessing you're wondering why I went OMT. I rewarded Ben for a good chase and maintaining good proximity, but at the same time I felt that Jerry probably even had a slightly better lead line on a couple of clips. We'd go back to Jerry, also had a really good start on his chase. Lost a little bit of proximity to the end. There's a bunch of things I found in that battle which I could go back and forth between, and to be honest, I can see exactly why the guys went to either driver.
Sure.
I went one more time. I'd like to see that again.
Well, you know how much I hate those things. I just want to say that I actually think you made a really good call right there. There we go.
Well, thank you, Steve.
That's rare from you, isn't it?
Oh, I don't generally like anything the judges have to say, no, I think they made the right decision. I mean, you can't split it, and then in Brendan's case, he's like, well, straight down the middle, here we go. It's been one of the good things that we've been doing over the last few rounds, which is to bring in our... we don't get any more professional than the drivers that are out here, and they're having the likes of, the Coles and Darrens, Bruce, yourself, joining us in commentary. It's a good way for the crowd at home to actually, the crowd that are here, the people watching at home, to actually get into the brains of pro drifters.
Yeah, no, it's a great opportunity just to come in and voice what we see. You know, we all think we're experts, you know, clearly we're not all the time. We're not always right, but it's just nice to get a drive. Well, Bruce probably is, but it's just nice to get a driver's opinion. You know, just of what they see and what from the driver's seat as to how it sort of goes. So
I'd say whether Benny's been given the pep talk in the pits and been told you need to do better.
Give it a slight tune-up and should we all go?
Yep. So, I mean, maybe he allowed a little bit of a gap on the entry last time for Jerry. Now he's like, nah, you're not getting an inch. He's going to put it on his door from day one.
I think he probably underestimated how Jerry was going to go.
Exactly.
And
Jerry can be hit and miss, but he's had a good season. He's had wins, I think, 3 or 4 rounds, and he's quite amusing. I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying. There's a couple of times he's had his trailer packed up, ready to go home, and he's advanced a lot further than he thought.
Yes, yeah.
Well, let's see how we go. Ben Jenkins going up against Jerry Zhu, the Toyota's Galore GT86 versus the NOB Building S15 2J versus 2J.
So it's quite commonly known that Jerry's packing about 1,000 horsepower versus 730, 740, I think, for Ben's little car. So they're both into the sweeper.
Jerry's a little bit of a
Jerry
bobble
dialed
there.
on some big angle at the end there, so they both switched through the midsection, back on the gas. Jerry's dropped back just a little bit, filling the outside zone.
Wow, Ben absolutely baking it as he fires through. Jerry Zhu had an opportunity to close up that gap.
A lot better lead run by Ben that
Yeah,
time.
a lot closer
better.
to his qualifying run.
A lot better. Jerry, just a slight boggle
He's
there.
dialed the angle. I'm like, yeah, he's like, as if I'm not sure if he grabbed the handbrake or just jerked the steering wheel.
It just looked like it was jumping off the track a bit.
And Jerry has gone right
Jerry's
down the
gone
inside
right
there.
down
Yeah,
low,
so and
trying to catch up.
so he would have lost some points there because Ben has done a really chaseable line and held his qualifying line.
All right, Jerry Zhu, this time NOB Boarding Supplies 2J Z-powered S15 going up against Ben Jenkins and the Brian Roberts towing Toyota's Galore GT86. They need to go and practice your move and pushing them up the track. Well, here we go.
Get on it, yep. So they're both accelerating hard. Ben's right on the rear quarter there. So coming through the sweeper, it's a nice and smooth run. Jerry's switch maybe just a little bit outside that clip.
Outside of that line.
Oh, Ben's broken.
Ben's broken.
Heartbreak for
Ben unfortunately is
Jenkins.
broken.
So the car's stopped dead, has it? Just no drive. Yeah, so it hasn't even made it. He's just rolling to a stop there. So
section, unfortunately.
maybe a gear engagement issue. Like I know a couple of guys, like Dave, had an issue this weekend with his gearbox, the sequential, and they both run the same box. So he would have.
Yeah, you can see it would be where he would go down a gear, and it's just come to it's just obviously not engaged. Oh yeah, there he is. He's trying to move forward. Oh, I wonder if it's done an axle.
He'd still get drive if he had a single axle there, in the car, but
he did break a drive shaft at one of the rounds. Was at Wellington?
He drove two
I
of the
wonder if it's
UJs, didn't he?
done.
And he ended up with one of them almost in his lap.
Yeah, came through the tunnel, didn't it?
Yeah, broke the tunnel. Like, yeah, there you go, hands in the air, and he's probably talking to comms, saying some choice words. Ben was really keen this weekend to get a good result because he was still, I think, in the top 8 for the championship, and he had a chance at making top 4 with our co-commentator Dana dipping out early. It would have been an opportunity, but now Ben's gone out the same, and so's Maddie.
Well, here we go. Let's go to the sliders. Slide left for Ben Jenkins. Slide right for Jerry Zhu. 1, 2, 3. And Jerry Zhu will move through. Who's Jerry going to be taking on? Carl Thompson.
I guess me and Ben will be standing at the bar together talking about how good we were.
So, yeah, just going back to that. So where does that leave us, Steve, with Danum was sitting in 4th behind Adam?
I was, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously
don't know quite
still
what's
at this
going to happen.
point.
I don't know what happened with Matty Hill.
Matty Hill lost.
Okay,
so Matty went out against
Liam.
Ben's gone out, so they were 2 other guys, and I think the other one was obviously Darren Fanger, Adam, was
Myself.
Dave. Yourself, was Dave, and you were up there?
I'm not sure. I think Carl was somewhere close.
Oh, yeah,
maybe?
you're right, yep. So
Just while we got the opportunity, he's not here this weekend. We've certainly loved him as being part of our judging team. Big congratulations to Zach Polt. Brand new bubby on the way. Just sent me a photo.
A week old, I think. Yeah.
Of course, it was Zach Polt, so he had to send a 3D. What do you call it? A 360 photo. There they are watching. We pull this way. They're drifting.
Oh, good stuff.
There we go. So Zach Polt,
first child.
Congratulations! What a little beauty. Well, so I think we're about 5 minutes away from from going to pit walk.
Your wear head is always smooth.